Hello, everybody, and welcome to my 2025 MLB season predictions. We're going to go through where I think everyone's going to finish in the division standings, who's going to be the wild card teams, and then MVPs for both leagues and Cy Youngs for both leagues. Let's get started with the NL West. Coming in last in the NL West, we have the Colorado Rockies. And listen, everyone knows, even Rockies fans know, that their team's going to be bad this year. I think everyone that is a fan of the purple and black up there in Colorado are hoping that they can improve off of last year. They have the talent. They have a really, really good farm system for the next couple of years, um, filled with a ton of talent. And we'll see how that can go. You know, they already have Brenton Doyle, they have Ezekiel Tovar, Ryan McMahon is still there, Nolan Jones, if he can have a better year this year, Michael Toglia. They have some talent. They have talent. Um, I don't think this is their year to be competitive and go for a playoff spot or anything like that. I just think they're trying to hope to improve off of last year, which is something I think they will do. I think they'll get more wins than last year. Um, a hot take that I have for them is actually no, I'm not gonna do hot takes. Screw that. Anyway, fourth place in the NL West, we have the the San Francisco Giants. Jesus. Um, the Giants, they really didn't do much in free agency. They still have the same team, basically, besides bringing in a superstar. They have basically the same team, besides bringing in Willie Adames and Justin Verlander. They still got Logan Webb. Oh, they lost Blake Snell, but so they lost a superstar, but they got one back. So, I don't think they're complaining, even though Blake Snell went to their division rivals. But they have a solid team. I think this is gonna be like around a 500 team. I don't think they're gonna be in playoff conversations, at least at the end of the year. I think they will at some point, but I think they're not gonna be in it at the end of the year. But yeah, the Giants, they have Patrick Bailey. Elliot Ramos is still there. He's gonna be good for them. Willie Adames will be good. Matt Chapman will be good. Logan Webb is still there. He'll be good. You also hope for good seasons for Hayden Birdsong and some of the young guys they got. Ryan Walker could be intriguing as their closer option. So yeah, I think the Giants got a solid team. I think this year they won't be going for the division again, but next year, who knows? They could be ahead of the Diamondbacks, or they could be going for the division against the Dodgers like they did in 2021. We'll see. Well, I got the Giants coming in fourth in the NL West. In third place, I got the San Diego Padres, who did not do much in free agency. They lost Jurickson Profar. They lost Tanner Scott. There were trade rumors around Dylan Cease and Michael King. Both of them stayed. They lost Higgy, but they still have a good team, even though I think that Higgy loss is really going to be felt. I think out of all three of them, even though Jerkson was an all-star last year, I think Higgy is going to be the most detrimental to this team because their catcher's Luis Campusano and Elias Diaz, who Elias Diaz has kind of fallen off from his all-star season 2 years ago. Campusano's all right. I mean, I shouldn't say all right. He's good, but he's not like what Higgy was for this team. I think Higgy was their best catcher, and he left. The only moves that San Diego made to get players to stay on their team was sign Nick Pivetta, which I think that's a nice little solid contract. 4 years, $55 million. I think that could be a solid pickup for them. Hopefully, he's a starter for them. And then they got Jason Hayward, to replace Profar. But they still have Fernando. They have Banny. Jackson Merrill is going to be good this year again. Luis Ariz is still there. And they still got Dylan Cease. They still got Michael King. That bullpen is going to be elite. very elite. Um, Even though they lost Tanner Scott, who honestly I don't think he did a really good job with San Diego last year. I don't think he was that good. They kept Jason Adam, who I think was the better get out of the two. I think Jason Adam was better than Tanner Scott when they got to the Padres for the second half of the season. But they still have a lot of dogs in the bullpen. Robert Suarez, Jeremiah Estrada, Jason Adam, to name a few. I think that bullpen's going to be one of the best in baseball. And I got San Diego coming in third. Coming in second, Arizona. The Diamondbacks will be second. Um, they lost Christian Walker, which was really their only big loss. They also lost Josh Bell as well as Randall Grichuk and Paul Sewald, who I don't know if they're signed or not. I'm not sure. But they made two very, very big moves this offseason. They lost Christian Walker. I'm thinking, okay, they're going to have to go out and sign a first baseman. No, they'll just make a shocking and unexpected trade with the Guardians to snag Josh Naylor. Yes, Josh Naylor is going to be a free agent after this year, but I mean, that was so unexpected. I thought Josh Naylor was going to stay in Cleveland for this year after how good he was last year for the Guardians. But no, they get rid of him. And Cleveland got Carlos Santana right after they come home. But I mean, man, Arizona, what a big move that was getting Josh Naylor. That's going to be a huge bat to this lineup to complement Ketel Marte and Lourdes Gurriel, all those guys. And that really helps with them losing Christian Walker and Jock Peterson they also lost. But then in the dead of night, they snagged Corbin Burnes as well on a big-time contract, 6 years, $209 million. Man, this Diamondbacks rotation is going to be scary. Zach Gallen, Corbin Burnes, Merrill Kelly, Brandon Fod. They got a rotation. They have a really, really good rotation. 4 really good pitchers. With that fifth spot being left a lot to be desired, but Arizona, they got a team. They have a really good team this year. I don't expect them to miss the playoffs at all after barely missing out last year. I think they'll be right in it in the 4 seed. I got Arizona coming in second, and I think this team, honestly, it could sneakily get 100 wins. I think there will be at least one 100 win team this year, maybe 3 or 4. We'll see. But coming in first, I mean, it's obvious. It's the Dodgers. They made a ton of moves this offseason. They re-signed Teoscar. They re-signed Clayton Kershaw. They got Tanner Scott. They signed Roki Sasaki. They signed Blake Snell. They signed Kirby Yates. They re-signed Blake Trinan. I can go on and on with how many moves the Dodgers made. This team is going to be extremely good this year. It should get 100 wins. At least that's what it looks like on paper. They dominated the Cubs in Tokyo earlier this week. This Dodgers team is going to be really, really good, and I could see why they are the favorites for repeating for another World Series championship. I mean, I don't even have to name anybody on the team. You all know who they got. Come on. It's going to be the Dodgers are going to win the NL West pretty easily. Now, let's head on to the NL Central. We're coming in last. I got the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals, they are not looking great. They don't really have a lot on that roster that I look at, and I say they're going to be a good team this year. I don't see many people on this team being very good. There were rumors that they were going to trade Ryan Helsley and Nolan Arenado. They're both still on the roster. Paul Goldschmidt walked. He went to the Yankees. They still have Mason Wynn. They still have Wilson Contreras. Brendan Donovan had a really good year last year. He's still there. Sonny Gray is going to be the leader on that awful, awful rotation besides Sonny Gray. The Cardinals, they don't really have a lot. this year. I think they're going to be pretty bad. I think they're going to be last in the division, and it's going to be another rough year for this once proud franchise. Um, Coming in fourth, I have the Pittsburgh Pirates. um, they really didn't make any moves in free agency, as expected. They don't really do anything in free agency. It's unfortunate for Pirates fans, but they got Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham was really their only big signing, I'll say. That was really their only big signing. They still have Paul Skeens, who's gonna be a favorite for um, Cy Young. Jared Jones is gonna be good when he's healthy. He's hurt right now. The Pirates still have Andrew McCutchen. He re-signed. That's their other move. They signed McCutchen and Pham to pair with Brian Reynolds in the outfield, or O'Neal Cruz if they still want O'Neal Cruz in the outfield. Um, which hopefully he has a good year this year. But yeah, this Pirates team is young. They have some guys. I don't think this is gonna be their year yet to compete for the division. Maybe in a year or two they'll be better. But I think the Pirates will finish fourth in the NL Central. Coming in third, it's the Cincinnati Reds, who made a lot of good moves this year in free agency. They got Jose Trevino, Brady Singer. They traded away Jonathan India in that deal. They also traded away Fernando Cruz in the Trevino deal. They got one of the Rogers brothers. They made some moves, and they got guys. They got young guys. Cincinnati was very aggressive this year. I think they're going to be solid. I think they'll be fighting for a wild card spot. Honestly, not the division. I'm going to say they're going to fight for the division at some point this year, but not at the end of the year when it ultimately matters. I think they'll be right in the wild card fight to end the year. I don't think they'll get in, but they'll be close. I would be surprised if they got in. They have guys. They still got Ellie. They got Spencer Steer, Tyler Stevenson. This team is Matt McLean. They have guys. They're a really young and fun team. Hunter Green should be electric this year. I'm buying it on the Reds. I think they'll be a good team this year. Maybe a playoff team, maybe not. I'm on the fence about that with them. I think they'll be close if they don't make it. I think it'll be close if they do make it. And I think the Reds, they're going to be a good team this year. I have them third in the NL Central. Coming in second, this is going to shock some people. I got the Cubs. I don't know why, and Cubs fans can agree with me on this. Every single time it seems like they make a big move, it doesn't pan out for them. It seems like every single time. Every single time. The only one that I've seen that's really panned out for them in the past couple of years is Shota. And Shota's elite. He's an elite pitcher. But after watching them play in the Japan series with the Dodgers, albeit the Dodgers are a really good team, it was a really good test for the Cubs. They did score some runs, but that was awful. That was very awful. Kyle Tucker has been struggling, their big addition. He's been struggling. I'm really surprised on how bad he's been for the Cubs in spring training, and albeit against elite pitchers of the Dodgers, he's been struggling so far. I really don't want to see him suck this year, because if he sucks, Chicago's not going to re-sign him, and then he's going to be leaving because he's a free agent at the end of the year. But Dansby hasn't really panned out. It's been just weird for the Cubs. They still have Dansby, who's going to be solid. They got rid of Cody Bellinger. Kyle Tucker, hopefully, will be good for them this year. Nico Horner's hurt right now. They have Michael Bush, I think, will be solid. Ian Happ will probably be the Cubs' best hitter this year. Or at least, if Kyle Tucker can get his act together, second best hitter. But right now, Ian Happ's their best hitter. And then that catcher spot, I still don't think is a really good spot. Miguel Amaya, I don't know, but I think this Cubs team will be good. They still have Shota. They have Justin Steele. Um, they traded for Ryan Presley in the bullpen. Their bullpen's gonna be nice. But I don't know. I don't think the Cubs are gonna win the division. I think they'll be up there. I think they'll be closer to the Reds than the Brewers, to be honest. But I think all three of those teams are gonna be separated by like 6, 7 games, 8 games. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close in the Central this year. If it's not, I'll be surprised. But coming in first, I got the Brewers. The Brewers, they didn't really do much in free agency. They let Willie Adames walk. They traded Devin Williams away for Nestor Cortez. Um, but like the Reds, they have a fun and exciting team. Trevor McGill is gonna be the new closer. They have Freddie Peralta still. Brandon Woodruff will be back soon. Tobias Myers, I think, is gonna be really good this year. And then they got guys. They have a lot of great hitters still in this lineup. Contreras, Jackson Churio, Reese Hoskins has been looking great. Bryce Turang, Joey Ortiz. They have a team. They have a really good team. They just need to win in the playoffs if they make it this year. They just need to win in the playoffs. I have them making the playoffs again, obviously as the winner of the Central. But I mean, they gotta win the playoffs with this roster. It's a really good roster. They were so close to beating the Mets last year, but Pete Alonso happened. So, yeah, I have the Brewers still winning the division, but we'll see. For me to buy into this team more, they have to win playoffs. They have to win a playoff series this year. That has to be their goal when they make the playoffs, is to win a playoff series. They finally won a playoff game for the first time in a long time, like 3 years or something like that. Now they have to win a series. Because the Brewers' World Series curse got broken because the Mets didn't make it. Now let's see what they can do. Now let's go to the NL East, where coming in last, it's the Marlins. The Marlins, they don't have much, do they? They're gonna be really, really bad this year. They traded away Luzardo. They traded away Jake Berger. They traded away two of their best players. I mean, Luzardo was probably gonna be gone anyways. There have been trade rumors about him since the deadline last year, but he got hurt before that happened. They traded away Jake Berger, who was probably their best hitter on the team last year, and I mean, just the Marlins they're gonna be really awful again. They still have Sandy. Sandy's back. That's good. Yuri Perez hopefully will be back soon. They're not much on this team is really moving me for their hitter. I think their lineup is going to be probably the worst offense in baseball, and that's saying a lot because the White Sox exist. So, yeah, really the only hitters that I think are going to be solid this year are Xavier Edwards, who could be an all-star this year. I think he'll be pretty good for them this year, but one player doesn't make a team. That's why I think they're going to be bad, obviously. Jesus Sanchez, I think, will be solid. Connor Norby as well, maybe. I don't know. Just the Marlins, they're the Marlins. They're going to be bad again. Coming in fourth is a team who I'm honestly kind of excited for. I got the Nationals. I think the Nationals are going to be pretty solid this year. They traded for Nathaniel Lowe. They have a lot of young guys. This is a very young team, young and upcoming team, I think. I think they'll be, if not playoff contenders in 2026, maybe this year. I don't know. I think people are sleeping on the Nats. I'm buying into them. I think they're going to be pretty good this year. They got James Wood, Dylan Cruz, the young guys in the outfield with Jacob Young. Nathaniel Lowe now with C.J. Abrams and Luis Garcia. And then Keibert Ruiz hopefully will improve at the catcher spot. And then their pitching, they still have Mackenzie Gore. They have Jake Irving. Um, Stone Garrett will return for them. He'll probably be the DH. But I mean, I'm buying in the Nationals this year. I think their team is going to be very, very solid. They could be this year's Tigers, where they just come out of nowhere and make the playoffs. I don't know, man. I have a good feeling about the Nationals this year. They're really young. They're going to be really a fun team to do or to watch, I should say. Um, and I still got them coming in fourth because the three teams ahead of them have more firepower than them. But I think the Nationals are going to be a fun and exciting team this year. And I am really excited to watch Washington Nationals baseball, probably for the first time since they won the World Series. I'm excited for the Nationals this year. Um, Coming in third, these three teams are really, they're going to be on top of each other the entire way for this division this year. It pains my heart to say this because realistically they could get first as well, but I got to go with the Braves. I got to go with the Braves. They didn't do much this offseason. They didn't really get better. They got Jerkson Profar, but he's hurt. They signed Alex Verdugo, I think, yesterday. So, but they still have an elite team. They have the reigning Cy Young winner, Chris Sale. Max Fried left. He went to the Yankees. Who else do they got in that rotation that I'm forgetting about? Reynaldo Lopez was really good last year. I think their bullpen's going to be really good this year. But that lineup's going to be good again as well. Acuna's coming back. Matt Olson will bounce back, as well as Austin Riley. Orlando Arcia. Ozzy Albies will be back. The outfield will be good with Michael Harris and Jerickson when he comes back. Acuna when he comes back. And then hopefully Sean Murphy can turn around this year. But the Braves are going to be a good team. But do I think they'll beat the Phillies and the Mets? No. But could it still happen? Yes. Coming in second place, and this one I'm going to get a lot of hate for too, I got the Mets. They made the biggest move in the offseason by signing Juan Soto to that massive contract. They retained Pete Alonso. Jesse Winker stayed. Clay Holmes is their opening day starter now because Kodai Senga's hurt. Their whole team's going to be very good. Maybe outside of their starting rotation. Their bullpen's going to be good. But their starting rotation, maybe, I don't know. I don't know about their starting rotation. I think it'll be good, but we'll see. Their lineup, their offense is going to be elite this year because they got Soto, they got Alonso, they got Lindor, Mark Vientos. That four is scary. That's very scary to anybody else that's facing them. Their outfield, I don't know what their outfield is going to look like. Brandon Nimmo will be there, but do they have Jesse Winker out there or Jose Siri? Because Nimmo and Soto will be out there. Is it going to be Soto? Is it going to be Siri? Is it going to be Tyrone Taylor? Is it going to be who's the name that I just had and I'm losing it? I don't know. They have Luis Angel Acuna at second, at least I think, unless Jeff McNeil will still be there, which I doubt. Yeah, their team's going to be very good this year. Hopefully Francisco Alvarez bounces back, but this whole team, I think, is going to be very good. Starting rotation is the only thing that's really worrying me about the Mets, but I think they're going to be very good this year and for many years to come. But coming in first, I have the team that lost to the Mets in the playoffs. And the only reason why is because experience. I have the Phillies coming in first. The Phillies, their whole team is very veteran-filled, which is a good thing. They have the experience, they have the wisdom, and they have the smarts to win the division. They got Bryce Harper, veteran. Kyle Schwarber, veteran. Zach Wheeler, veteran. Aaron Nola, veteran. Like, it's veteran filled. Those are some of the examples. They still have Alec Boehm, even though there was trade rumors around him. Bryson Stott is still in the infield. Trey Turner, another veteran who's a star, is still there. JT Real Muto, another veteran that is still there. Their bullpen will be good. They have a very good team. Their outfield will be good. Brandon Marsh, um, Johan Rojas, Kyle Schwarber. They have a very good team. And I think a lot of people are forgetting about. They have probably gonna have one of the best rotations in baseball. They got Luzardo from the Marlins as probably their fifth starter. They have a really good bullpen. I'm forgetting who their closer is at this time. Oh, it's Jordan Romano. Okay, maybe that might be their one weakness, but besides that, they have a very, very good team. They did lose Jeff Hoffman to the Blue Jays, but besides that, they didn't really lose anything. I still believe in the Phillies more than I do the Mets and the Braves. So I got the Phillies winning the NL Central. And now I'll go to my wild card teams for the NL. So I think the Dodgers will be the 1, the Phillies will be the 2, and the Brewers will be the 3 seed. And there are 5 teams in my mind that are competing for these 3 playoff spots: the Mets, the Braves, the Cubs, the Padres, and the Diamondbacks. And I'm going to put this in this order: Mets in the 4 spot, Diamondbacks in the 5, Braves in the 6. The reason why I don't see the Padres and Cubs getting in is because the Cubs the Cubs, after how they performed in Tokyo, albeit it was against the Dodgers, kind of turned me off on them. And then San Diego, I don't know. I just don't feel like they're going to be able to keep up with the with the Diamondbacks and the Mets and the Braves and all that. I don't think they'll be able to win enough games. So, yeah. That's my playoffs for the NL. Dodgers, Phillies, Brewers, Mets, Diamondbacks, Braves. That's my 6 teams. So, now let's move on to the AL, and let's start off with the AL East, which I honestly think will be the best division in baseball this year. At least them or the NL Central, competitive-wise, because I think the worst team is going to be around a high 70 wins team, and the top team will be like maybe 100. So we'll see. But coming in last, I got the Rays. The Rays, they don't really have much, do they? They have exciting prospects, or young guys, I should say, in Junior Caminero and Jose Caballero. Yandy is still there. They lost Jose Siri and Jeffrey Springs. That was their 2 main losses. But Shane McClanahan is coming back. They got a really solid bullpen. Pete Fairbanks is still there. Edwin Uceda, he was very underratedly good last year. The Rays, they don't really have much, but they're a young team with some solid players like Shane McClanahan and Ryan Pepio, Yandy, Caminero, Caballero, all them guys. So the Rays, they do have some guys, but I still don't think they're going to have enough to finish 4th or 3rd in the division this year. So, yeah, I got the Rays in last. Coming in 4th, I got the Blue Jays, who were in on every single big free agent and only got 2. They got Anthony Santander, which is huge. Santander was amazing for Baltimore last year. And they got Jeff Hoffman from the Phillies, who I think will be decent with them. But they have some guys. Vladdy's going to be a free agent at the end of the year, as well as Bo Bichette. Hopefully Bo bounces back. They still have George Springer. Alejandro Kirk is still there. This team's decent. They're decent. They got Gosman Bowden Francis. I think Jeff Hoffman's going to be a starter this year, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but I have questions about their bullpen and their closer role. Who's going to be filling all those? But at least they have two superstars now. Maybe three if Bo Bichette can bounce back this year. So we'll see about Toronto. I got them coming in fourth. Coming in third, I still got the Orioles. They're still young, even though they lost some pieces. They don't really have an ace at the moment. I guess it's Zach Eflin right now because Grayson Rodriguez is still hurt and Corbin Burns left. Um, but they still have some young pieces, even though they're two big free agents. Corbin Burns and Anthony Santander left. They still got Gunner. They still have Mountcastle. Jordan Westberg will return, hopefully healthy. Adley's still there. They signed Tyler O'Neill. I think he'll be an underrated pickup for them. And then they still have Cedric Mullins in the outfield. Yeah, I think this team should be all right. They should be good. I think they'll be fighting for a wild card spot, probably the 5 or 6 spot. But I think Baltimore, they'll be a good, solid team, but they're definitely not going to be as good as when they won 100 games 2 years back. And hopefully they can fight for a playoff spot, but we'll see. Coming in second, this is honestly tough between these two teams because when the Yankees didn't have Soto, they were very bad. But then again, they didn't have enough firepower at the time. They got that firepower now. Boston improved as well. This I think is going to be the closest division race out of the two teams. I wouldn't be surprised if they tied at the end of the year and had to do a game 163. So, coming in second, I'm going to go with Boston. The Red Sox, they have a young team. But a good team. They still have Jaron Duran. Watch out when he has a tennis racket. Jaron Duran's be their best player. Rafael Devers is still there. Connor Wong is going to be good for them this year. Hopefully Trevor Story is good for them this year. They have Wilyer Abreu, Cedane Rafaela. Alex Bregman is now on this team as well, and Garrett Crochet they have Tanner Houck, they got guys. They have a really good team this year. Really young, really fun, really exciting team. I wouldn't be surprised if the Red Sox go on a deep playoff run this year. I have the Red Sox coming in second in the AL East. But coming in first for the second straight year, I got the Yankees. The Yankees, they lost Soto. That's fine. They have Jazz. They traded for Paul Goldschmidt, Cody Bellinger, Devin Williams, Fernando Cruz. They got guys this year. I think their bullpen will be a top 5, top 3 even bullpen in the league. And they have 2 closers now, Devin Williams and Luke Weaver. That's scary. When teams have 2 closer type guys, that's the best type of team, and that's what the Yankees got. They have Aaron Judge still, obviously. Anthony Volpe is still there. Hopefully he improves. Jazz at third, Bellinger at first. At least I think Bellinger's going to be at first. I don't know. They did lose Glaber. I think they'll be fine with that. Austin Wells is the catcher. Yeah, the Yankees are going to be really good again. I wouldn't be surprised if they also get 100 wins this year. Just like the Dodgers. I don't know. We very well could have a repeat of or a rematch of last year's World Series this year. I could see it, honestly. Um, so now we'll do the AL Central, which I think is going to be very competitive. I can see four teams winning this division. Four. The fifth team is the Chicago White Sox. They'll be last. I don't really have to say anything about them. They are going to be awful, and I don't know if they'll have anybody good on the White Sox this year. They're going to be very bad. As long as they can improve their win total from last year, I think that's their only goal because they know they're going to be bad. But as long as they don't have the worst season in baseball again, or in baseball history again this year, I think they'll take this season as a win. Coming in fourth, Minnesota. The Twins, they're a good team when healthy, and that's the main issue when healthy. Royce Lewis is already hurt. He already got hurt, and he's their DH. Man, that is very unfortunate. So I might as well beg the question: when will Buxton and Correa join Royce on the IL? Because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Question is when. Minnesota, I don't think did anything in the offseason last year. In fact, they let somebody big on their team last year go. Carlos Santana left to go to the Guardians. So, yeah, I mean, I, I don't know. I don't really. I I don't know. Minnesota, they're a good team when healthy, but that's the key point. Health. They need health. Brooks Lee should be good for them. Matt Wallner, I think, will be good. Buxton, Lewis, and Correa, when healthy, will be good. They have two closer options, I think. Johan Duran and Griffin Jackson in the bullpen. I think their bullpen's going to be solid. But their starting rotation behind Pablo Lopez, I don't know. I don't really see much besides Pablo and Bailey Ober. Yeah, the Twins, they have pieces. Problem is, they can't stay healthy. Minnesota's finishing fourth again in the division this year. Coming in third, and this is tough between these three teams. This will be a close division race. I don't want to say they're going to be third because realistically they could be first this year. They're so interchangeable. It's just like the NL East, you know? But coming in third, and I hate to do this, but give me the Detroit Gritty Tigers. Detroit shocked the world last year. They shocked the baseball world in making the playoffs. Even after selling at the deadline, which ironically, they got that piece back this year. Jack Flaherty's back on the Tigers again to start the year. But they also have the reigning AL Cy Young winner in Tariq Skubal. Their bullpen is filled with young, electric arms like Jackson Jobe, Will Vest, Jason Foley, who's older, but that's beside the point. Their hitting is my main concern. I think all three of their outfielders will be very good this year. Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, Parker Meadows. I think those are going to be their best hitters on the team. They did sign Glaber. I really wanted them to get Alex Bregman because I think he would have been a perfect fit for the Tigers, but he went to Boston. But they did sign Glaber. Hopefully, he can continue his second half form. The first half of last year, he was awful. The second half of last year, he was pretty underratedly solid. He was really good last year in the second half of the season. Torkelson hopefully will bounce back. Colt Keith, I think, will be a solid DH option. Hopefully he improves last year in his sophomore year and doesn't hit the sophomore slump. I'm forgetting who the Tigers' third baseman is. I don't know. Trey Sweetie will, hopefully for the greater good, be their starting shortstop this year and not Javi Baez. But yeah, the Tigers got better when Baez went hurt and Sweetie started. So I think for the Tigers' sake, they're happy they traded Flaherty away because they got Trey Sweetie in that deal, and now they have both. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Tigers finish second or first, but I think they're going to be third. Coming in second, and I honestly think that losing Josh Naylor really is going to hurt this team because that's 30 plus home runs and 100 plus RBIs you just lost. But coming in second, we got the Guardians. The Guardians are still going to be a good team. But I think Kansas City is going to be even better than them this year. The Guardians, they still have the most underrated player in baseball still, Jose Ramirez. Stephen Kwan will return. Lane Thomas, I think, will be better for them this year. I know he started out awful with Cleveland at first, but I think now that he'll have a full season, or he'll have some experience in with that whole team, I think he'll turn into what Josh Naylor was for them. Speaking of Nailers, they have Bo Naylor. They trade away Jimenez also, which was really interesting. So I don't know who their second baseman's going to be. Cleveland also they got Carlos Santana back. Big Christmas and Kyle Manzardo as options at first base. I'm forgetting who they're. Oh, Brian Rocchio. They have Brian Rocchio as well. Yeah, this will be. They'll still be a good team, but they lost a lot of their firepower and a lot of their energy. Josh Naylor was that energizer guy for them. So I have the Guardians coming in second and coming in first for the first time since they won the World Series. The Kansas City Royals will win the AL Central this year, in my opinion. Kansas City, they have a really, really good team. Bobby Witt, Vinny Pasquantino, Michael Massey, Salvador Perez is still here. Michael Garcia. Hopefully MJ Melendez bounces back in the outfield. Kyle Isbell. Maybe their outfield will be there. At least hitting wise, they'll be the Royals' weakness, but defensively they'll be good. Pitching, their bullpen will be good. They have two closers honestly now with Lucas Ursag and Carlos Estevez, who they signed. They have Cole Reagan, Seth Lugo still. Michael Waco is solid. I think this Royals team's gonna be very fun. They're gonna be very exciting, and they didn't really lose anybody that was very important like the Guardians did. They lost two of their key guys. Cleveland did. Kansas City didn't really lose anybody. Detroit didn't really lose anybody. So I honestly could see Cleveland finishing third. I think that would be more likely than them winning. I got the Royals winning the division. It'll be close, but I got Kansas City winning. And now we head to the AL West. Coming in last, the very expected answer, the Los Angeles Angels. The Angels. Woof. They made some moves. Jorge Soler will be good. Travis d'Arnaud will be good. They have some superstars for now. Mike Trout. Hopefully he'll stay for the whole season. Zach Neto's already hurt. They still got Logan O'Hoppe. Nolan Shanuel hopefully will be good this year. Or at least improve. They have Taylor Ward is still there. He'll be good. And then their rotation, Tyler Anderson was an okay pitcher last year. He was their starting, or he was their ace for them. Um, they're gonna have a nice closer in Ben Joyce. He'll be throwing 105 at people, um, which I don't know how someone could hit 105 for like a home run or something like that, an extra base hit. Ben Joyce is probably gonna be a problem in the league for a while, but hopefully Mike Trout can stay healthy this whole year. You say Kikuchi's going to be their ace now. I think that was a really underrated signing. That's going to be a really good pickup for the Angels. But yeah, I think the Angels are going to be last, and hopefully they improve on last year. And hopefully for everyone's sake, every baseball fan's sake, hopefully Mike Trout plays 150, 160 games this year. It's easier said than done, but we can only hope and imagine. Coming in fourth, the A's. The A's, I think, have improved. They signed Luis Severino, and they traded for Jeffrey Springs. That's two really good pieces to their starting rotation that they needed. Those are probably going to be their best two pitchers this year. Mason Miller is still on the team. He's going to be their closer. They still have the pair of Lawrence Butler and Brent Rooker, who will be their best hitters on the team. Shea Langoliers will be pretty good this year. Tyler Soderstrom. Zach Geloff, who will hopefully bounce back. Jacob Wilson, who will be making his MLB debut. The A's have a young team. They have some guys. I wouldn't be surprised they finish right around 500 this year. At least that's what I hope for. Because there was not too long ago they were where the White Sox were. They were the worst team in baseball. But hopefully they improve, which I think they will. I still don't think they're gonna pass Seattle. I think they'll beat LA, but I don't think they'll pass Seattle, even though I don't think the Mariners are gonna be as good this year. But yeah, we'll see what the A's can do. I think they're going to be pretty solid this year. Coming in third, the Mariners. The Mariners' offense last year was awful. The Mariners' starting rotation was the best in the league last year, which I think will continue. They have great pitching. Brian Wu, Bryce Miller, George Kirby, who is unfortunately hurt right now, Logan Gilbert, and I'm forgetting somebody. I know I'm forgetting somebody. Who am I forgetting? Who am I forgetting on the Mariners rotation? Gilbert, Miller, Wu, Kirby. Who am I forgetting? Hang on a second. I'm going to look this up. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm sorry, everybody. Luis Castillo. Oh my God. I forgot about Luis Castillo. But yeah, those five are going to be good this year. I'm pretty damn sure they'll be good this year. Andres Munoz is going to be a good catcher or a good closer for them. Cal Raleigh will be good this year. Hopefully Julio Rodriguez bounces back. Victor Robles, I think, will be solid for them. But really, that's all who they have as good hitting options for them. They had Justin Turner, but he didn't re-sign. He walked and went to the Cubs. I don't really know who they're going to have besides Raleigh and Robles and hopefully J-Rod. Maybe J.P. Crawford will bounce back. I don't know. I don't see much for the Mariners this year. I think they're going to be pretty mid. They might even fall behind the A's. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But I got the Mariners coming in third. Coming in second, And this team also really lost a lot of pieces. They did gain one big piece, but they lost a lot of their 2022 World Series team, at least a good chunk of it. But Houston Astros will finish second in the division this year, I think. Alex Bregman left. They traded Kyle Tucker and Ryan Presley to the Cubs. Um, they got Isaac Paredes and Cam Smith in that Cubs deal, but you trade away one of the best players in the league. You trade away two of your solid pieces, or you let two of your solid pieces go. In Tucker and Bregman. Correa also walked a long time ago. I don't know why the Astros are not holding on to their core guys. They got Christian Walker, who's going to be good, but he's hurt. He's hurt right now. Jose Altuve's in left. He's been awful in left, which is not ideal for them. Jordan is still there. He's probably going to be the best player on this team, hitting-wise at least. Framber is there. I think he's going to be very good this year. Framber, Christian Javier, Hunter Brown, who is really underrated. They let Kikuchi go. They still are good. They're gonna have a solid bullpen, I think. Brian Abreu will be there. But this team leaves a lot to be desired. I think that they're not even gonna have a chance in the division and might not even make the playoffs. I don't know. I'm really out on the Astros right now. I don't know what they're doing. And this is, if they fall off this year, this is going to be a really sad end to the run that they had. Losing in the wild card round, not even winning a playoff game last year was very, very alien to the past 7-8 years when they were in the ALCS every year. But yeah, I'm really out on the Astros right now. I don't think they're really going to do anything. They might not even make the playoffs. I'm so out on them. I don't know. I don't know about the Astros this year, man. I don't know. Coming in first, I got the Rangers. I think the Rangers are going to bounce back. Corey Seager will be healthy for them. Marcus Semien will be good. Wyatt Langford will be good. Evan Carter hopefully will return. Leody Taveras. They got Jock Peterson. They got Jake Berger. Their lineup's going to be insane this year. Jace Young. They signed Higgy. They got Jonah Heim. They even signed Jock Peterson. I think I said that twice. I don't know. My memory is really bad today when I do these videos. This is why I hate these videos. But I think the Rangers are going to be really, really good this year. Also, their rotation. They lost Scherzer. I think they'll be fine. Jacob deGrom is back. That's scary enough in itself. Nathan Eovaldi is still here. Who else do they got? Kumar Rocker. Even the bullpen's going to be very fun and exciting to watch. I don't know. The Rangers, they're going to be scary this year. They're going to be scary. I wouldn't be surprised if they win 100 games. But Texas is back. I think the Rangers are going to be back, and they're going to win the AL West when they should have in 2023, but they blew it. But this time, I think they'll be back, and they will be great. So, here's my predictions for the AL playoffs. So, the division winners are the Yankees, Royals, and the Rangers. I got the Yankees in the first, Rangers in second, Royals third. Now we go to the wild card spots. And there are a few teams that I can see battling for these. The Astros, the Guardians, the Tigers, the Red Sox, and the Orioles. In the fourth spot, I'm going to put Boston. In the fifth spot, I'm going to put Cleveland. And in the sixth spot, for the second straight year, will be the Tigers. I think the Orioles and Astros are just going to miss out. I don't know. I see a really good Boston team, and still a solid Cleveland team, and a really good Detroit team, and Baltimore and Houston, they don't look like themselves. They look pretty middle of the pack. They look like middle of the pack teams and not playoff teams right now. I would be surprised if Baltimore gets it, but I really don't think Houston's going to get in this year. I'm really down on them. I don't know, man. It's sad to see what the Astros have become if they really do disappoint this year. So now let's do predictions for Cy Young and MVP. Let's do Cy Young first. AL Cy Young. I said I was really down on the Astros this year, but I think they're gonna get the Cy Young. I think Framber Valdez is gonna win the Cy Young this year. I don't know. Framber, he's always been a really solid pitcher. Definitely a top 20 pitcher, top 10 in the AL. He's always a Cy Young favorite. I think this is the year where he really dominates, really shows out. He almost got traded this offseason. I just remember that. He almost got traded. I really think that Framber is going to dominate. He's going to be lights out damn near all year long, and he's going to win the Cy Young this year in the AL and get a big contract. So I got Framber winning the Cy Young for the AL. Now for the NL. The real obvious choice is Paul Skeens. But this guy has been so close for so many years. I gotta look to see if he's won a Cy Young before I say anything about that. Let me see. Has he won a Cy Young before? No, he has not, surprisingly. He's been so close to winning a Cy Young these past couple of years. I think this is the year. Chris Sale got his first last year over him. I think this year it's going to stay in the NL East. But it's going to be a Philly. Zach Wheeler. I think he's getting the Cy Young this year. We've had a really dominant pitcher finally get their first Cy Young the past couple of years. I think this year it's Zach Wheeler's time. He's been a top 3 pitcher in the NL for the past, I think, for every year this decade, besides minus 2020. But who cares about that year? I think this is the year where Zach Wheeler puts it all together. He dominates as a 34-year-old, and he shuts everything down. He's lights out. I think this is the year for Zach Wheeler to get his first Cy Young of his career in his age 35 season. Because he's aged like wine. He has, really. Now, let's go to MVP. For the AL, he came in second last year. I think it's going to Bobby Witt. I think Bobby Witt's going to really outshine Aaron Judge and anybody else in the AL this year. I think he's easily a top 7 player in the league right now. I think he's going to turn into a top 3 player in the league this year, and maybe even the best player in the league. Who knows? Bobby Witt had a really historic season last year, but so did Aaron Judge. And Aaron Judge's season outshined Bobby Witt's season for multiple reasons. But this year, I think Bobby Witt's going to dominate. I think it won't be very close. It could be unanimous. I will say that. But Bobby Witt will win MVP this year in the AL. And I think he's going to really show everyone who he is and lead this Royals team to a deep playoff run and an AL Central title. Now, NL MVP. The really obvious answer is Shohei Ohtani. But I want to be different this year. I honestly think that Juan Soto is going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder. And this Mets team's really good. I think the signing of Juan Soto, just like Shohei Ohtani, the first year of Ohtani's big contract, he won MVP. Soto just got a big contract. I think lightning will strike twice. I think Juan Soto is going to win MVP. Really elite player. Almost won MVP last year. I believe he was in the top three behind Judge and Witt. I think it's going to be a really fun race between Soto, Otani, and maybe even Mookie and Lindor. Maybe even Tatis or some other guys. But I think the real main race is going to be Soto versus Otani for the MVP this year. But I think Juan's going to get it. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think he's going to really thrive in Citi Field, that ballpark. I think that's going to be work into his strengths. And I think he's going to have a very, very, very good season this year for the Mets. Maybe they go onto a World Series run or a deep playoff run. I can see that. But I got the Mets. Juan Soto, the Mets' new addition, just like Shohei Otani with the Dodgers last year in his first year, as a new addition with that big contract. Lightning will strike twice. Soto big contract equals Soto's first MVP. But Otani had already won MVPs before when he was on the Angels. So, yeah, I still got Juan Soto winning MVP for the NL this year. But yeah, thank you all for watching my baseball predictions this year. I really enjoyed making it. But yeah, thank you all for watching. See y'all later. RV out. Peace. Baseball is so back.